Saudi Arabia, a scorching desert land renowned for its vast wealth and endowed with a rich store of natural resources. Perhaps being one of the biggest oil supplies in the world, Saudi Arabia isn't exactly seen as being on the forefront when it comes to clean energy or even new sustainable technologies. All this, however, is about to change with the establishment of Neom, Saudi Arabia's latest and perhaps greatest attempt to step into the future of design, production and innovation. So why the sudden change of heart? And the answer appears to be because of this man, 36-year-old Mohammed bin Salman, a very ambitious millennial with the Saudi kingdom in the palm of his hand. He has the will and the power to reshape and redefine Saudi Arabia, not only to its own citizenry, but to the entire world. His vision is that of a Saudi Arabia that's more moderate, technologically advanced, and geopolitically powerful. If you were to look back at Saudi Arabia in, say, early 2014, you'd see a Saudi Arabia that had spent the previous decade just spending money frivolously on whatever it could. Oil prices were sitting pretty at around $110 a barrel, and they spent the proceeds on anything and, well, everything. They racked up a giant expenditure that neared $300 billion at one point and still had a surplus. However, oil prices quickly collapsed down to as low as $26 a barrel within just a couple years. Suddenly, they had to put in place a program of austerity. This cut expenditure down to as low as $250 billion, a hefty 16% drop. Consider also that Saudi Arabia at one point had $750 billion in the exchange. That had dropped by a third. This highlighted the fragility of Saudi Arabia in its current state, and a real sense of urgency developed. The old model was beginning to break, and even in the desert, they couldn't bury their head in the sand. It would then seem that Mohammed bin Salman and Saudi Arabia are intent on capitalizing on its oil-soaked wealth while they can, and secure the future prosperity of the country. Rather than try and prolong the past, Saudi Arabia wants to be the worldwide innovation hub for sustainable technologies and a template for the future infrastructure of countries across the globe. To this end, Saudi Arabia is going all out with a multi-pronged approach to overhaul the country from the ground up and, in some cases, the ocean up. This is where Neom comes in. Neom is part of Prince Salman's plan to usher in an age of technological advancements in the country. Prince Salman plans to turn the kingdom's northwest Red Sea coast into a hub of clean, energy-efficient industrial complexes. This plan is part of his wider Vision 2030 plan, which aims to diversify away from crude oil, loosen social restrictions, and boost investment in clean energy. Neom is described as a new vision of what the future could be. It's an attempt to do something that's never been done before, and it could be coming at a time when the world needs fresh thinking and new solutions. This brings us to Oxagon, the largest floating structure in the world, and home to the world's first fully automated port and integrated logistics centre. Situated on one of the world's busiest trading routes on the Red Sea, with 12% of all world trade passing through each year. Creating a floating industrial city right on top of the Red Sea is ambitious, to say the least. The Oxagon is going to be fueled by 100% renewable energy in order to lower its carbon footprint and make the city as sustainable as possible. The official Saudi press agency reported that the Oxagon will be what they call a comprehensive cognitive city that is focused on the integration of robotics and artificial intelligence into the infrastructure. The city is expected to comprise a 50 square kilometre area and house 80 to 90,000 residents and 40 to 50 companies, with the first of these expected to arrive as early as 2023. In short, Oxagon can be described as a zero-net emission industrial city fueled by clean energy, floating on top of the Red Sea with exceptional access to trade and a burgeoning hotbed for investment. The first phase of construction is not expected to be completed until 2025 and will consider the onshore development only, as the floating area is still in the early stages of design. It is estimated that the project is going to cost upwards of a staggering $500 billion, and deals have already been reached with various companies on some of the more interesting aspects of the project. Among the most notable of these are the world's largest green hydrogen project involving Air Products, ACWA Power and Neom in a sort of tripartite venture. The world's largest and most advanced modular building construction factory in collaboration with Gulf Modular International, and finally a new assembly plant for Hyzon motors promising to deliver the world's most powerful fuel cell technology. Needless to say, there's going to be a lot of world's first happening at the Oxagon when the project reaches completion. As you can probably imagine, there's been a lot of skepticism surrounding the project. To make matters worse, the Saudi government doesn't have the best track record either when it comes to completing overly optimistic projects like the Neo. People are also questioning the feasibility of such a project since, as of right now, no details have been presented as to how Prince Salman plans to design and engineer the floating aspects of the city.
Neom project, this futuristic city that he is planning to invest $500 billion in it. What if it goes wrong? It could bankrupt the country.
But no one's allowed to criticize it.
But no one allowed to write an objective piece in any newspaper.
Oxagon's announcement comes in addition to a number of other ambitious projects from Saudi Arabia, which only increases the skepticism surrounding the projects. These include, number 1, the Line, another proposed carbon-neutral city passing through the Neom area, which is to be built in a straight line approximately 170 kilometers long, ending at the Red Sea. Number 2, the Rig, a tourist entertainment city built on top of an abandoned oil platform in the Arabian Gulf, a sort of static cruise ship experience with various options for hospitality, accommodation and marine sports experiences. Number 3, Prince Mohammed bin Salman non-profit city, yet another planned city in the capital Riyadh that will house non-profit companies and sustainable businesses. Despite the lack of information and overall negative reception to the planned city, if Prince Mohammed bin Salman and Saudi Arabia are able to pull off this project as planned, or even close to as envisioned, the city will undoubtedly be a marvel to behold. Its intriguing future is very much still in the balance. The city could end up being a science fiction metropolis made real, or its lofty ambitions could consign it to the mythical depths of Atlantis. Only time will tell.